Tulsa parks have seen a marked decrease in the number of joggers, ever since an ORU student and her boyfriend were ambushed and subsequently murdered while jogging late one evening. Billy Burke has more in the studio. Tulsa police are encouraging residents to take special care to lock their car doors. This is because of a series of robberies that have plagued the area in the past few weeks. A recent string of earthquakes across northern Oklahoma has caused university officials to review safety policies for natural disasters. This includes changes in the Davrielle dorm facility, moving the tornado shelter from the kitchen to the first floor. The sixth floor of the Graduate Center at Oral Roberts University serves as a time capsule. Behind me, a mural outlines historical moments at ORU that define the culture of the university. It starts at 1960 and carries all the way through 2009. Occupy Tulsa protesters tried to escape 30-degree temperatures by gathering around a warm fire. This is the third week that Occupy Tulsa protesters have been camping out in tents in a show of solidarity with the Occupy Wall Street protests. The occupation has been temporarily moved from its downtown location at 6th and Main to a rented lot near Kane's Ballroom. This comes in an effort to avoid arrests due to curfew restrictions on the park. So far, 30 protesters have been arrested, given citations, and some even pepper sprayed by the police. Tulsa resident Nick Cox told us that in spite of recent arrests, they are still cooperating with the Tulsa Police Department.
TPD's been real great. Of course, when we're at the park, by order of the mayor, they have to enforce the park curfew. We have a real good working relationship with the Tulsa Police Department. No problems there at all.
Cox feels that the media has presented an unfair image of the occupation.
You might get somebody shouting, get a job, which is funny because 99% of the people out here either have jobs or are full-time students. I don't think people really know why we're out here or understand what we're doing and who's out there, because if they did, I think a lot more people would be out here than are.
For ORU TeleNews, I'm Davrielle Burrows. ORU recently received a news desk from Tulsa's NBC affiliate, Channel 2. We spoke with their production manager, Ross Greenwald, to learn more about the donation.
When we were looking to improve our set and be able to build a new set, we knew we were going to be able to have a lot of stuff that was still in pretty good condition. So we felt like it was something somebody still might be able to get some use out of, and naturally the first thing we thought of was, are there any schools around here that might be interested? And ORU was kind of the first thing that popped into mind for our chief engineer and myself, and so that was the first call we made, and fortunately they were more than happy to give a home to pretty much everything we were taking out.
Greenwald also told us that there may be some sentimental reasons behind the donation.
We spent a lot of time on that set over the years, and it was nice to kind of retire it, but also give it a good home and not have to go throw a bunch of stuff in a dumpster, take a bunch of stuff to the landfill. That to me was kind of a nice thing too, and really, be able to help out some kind of up and coming, hopefully some future TV employees, hopefully maybe some here, and kind of give them something to work with. It's a little more of a professional thing because it came out of a professional environment.
TeleNews professor Dr. Laura Sherwood told us a little bit about her reaction to the news of the new news desk.
It looks professional. It gives the whole studio just a real classy look. So I was thrilled.
Dr. Sherwood believes that the new set may serve to increase both enrollment and viewership for TeleNews.
Students will talk to other students peer-to-peer and say, hey, have you seen the telenewscast? And it looks good, a lot better than with the older desk we had that was just kind of pieced together, and now it is a, quote, real news desk. And also, again, the internet. They can see that the technology that we're using is now HD, and part of that is also having that beautiful news desk.
For ORU TeleNews, I'm Davrielle Burrows. You step into your local church, and there they are. They don't seem very frightening, do they? With almost 33% of the world's population claiming to be Christian, it's a little strange to encounter a movie called Beware of Christians. The documentary chronicles the experiences of 4 American Christian young men as they set out on a journey across Europe to contrast the image of modern Christianity in the Western world with the lifestyle of Christ laid out in the Bible. We sat down with 2 of the film's cast members, Will Backey and Alex Carroll, to find out more.
I had a pastor tell me one time that some of the most refreshing words to hear from somebody else are just the words "me too." Just to have somebody completely understand where you're at in life and understand your feelings about certain topics and issues is just really comforting. And so for us, we wanted to make a movie where we were just straight up honest about all the things we were struggling with. I think one of the ideas that we started with before we did this trip was it's really difficult to solve a problem when you're sitting right in the middle of it. So for us, we just took 5 weeks out of being in our routines, away from our friends, away from our families, away from just sort of the cultural pressure of being a Christian.
Since the film's release in 2010, the group has spent much of their time touring the country, showing the film wherever they can.
I think the greatest thing about touring is just the conversations afterwards, because we have plenty of conversations where people are like, you know, great job on the movie, we loved it, but then there's also conversations where you just see, I think you just see Christ like turning in people's hearts, and that's encouraging, because we went through that making this movie. We went through just trying to get over ourselves.
The film's growing popularity presented a new set of challenges for the producers.
I think this whole experience has changed me to really challenge myself to try to do business alongside of a ministry, because we're a for-profit company, but we're also somewhat of a ministry.
We asked about the future of Riot Studios.
What I hope to accomplish is really just to be a voice to other students that are like us, that have kind of held on to the Christian label and held on to that as their identity, much more so than actually following Jesus with their whole life.
We definitely plan on continuing to make movies and continuing to try to do Christian media. As long as the funding is still there and we can make something good, we'll keep doing it. So.
For ORU TeleNews, I'm Davrielle Burrows. College students are always looking for new, fun things to do. But it can be kind of hard when you're working on a budget. This week, we're going to talk about 5 ways to spend the day in Tulsa for under $15. Our first stop was to the Philbrook Museum. The Philbrook Museum is filled with valuable artifacts from ancient times. You can find yourself lost in this maze of beauty and information. For many, however, the pinnacle of beauty lies outside the doors of the museum. The Philbrook boasts a garden expanse that stretches acres. Lush flowers and plants border walkways that serve as the backdrop for long romantic strolls. Maybe you'll want to have a chat with one of your friends on the bench under a tree, or take a look in their famous reflection pool. Or you might just want to spend the day teaching your children about culture and nature. So, whether you're looking to learn about the arts or simply relax under the trees, consider spending your day at the Philbrook. The next stop on our journey to find 5 ways to spend the day in Tulsa is Tulsa River Parks. Join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. I'm Davrielle Burrows reporting for ORU TeleNews. Former Prime Minister Tony Blair visits Mabee Center, and Winterfest sets the stage for Christmas.
ORU men's basketball rocks Rogers State to sleep in the opening exhibition game of the season. I'm William Berg.
And I'm Davrielle Burrows. Welcome to TeleNews. The annual Arvest Winterfest, presented along with the Lomac Taylor Family Foundation, is coming back to downtown Tulsa. This month-long event will be held November 25th, 2011 through January 2nd, 2012. Some of the activities will include old-fashioned horse-drawn carriage rides, as well as a large outside skating rink. There's also a decorated area for holiday photos with Santa. Winterfest has Oklahoma's tallest outdoor Christmas tree, lit up with over 35,700 lights. Throughout the month, Winterfest will host a variety of free and holiday-themed music and entertainment. Season concessions will be available as well. This year, the holiday market has been expanded. Another change is additional charity events since last year. Winterfest enjoyed over 120,000 visitors. Tulsa has very high hopes for the holiday season of 2011. This week, ORU Mabee Center had the honor of hosting former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Tony Blair. Mr. Blair spoke Tuesday morning at a large event organized by the OSU Spears School of Business, held in the Mabee Center's Johnson Theater. Over the course of his discussion and questions period, The Prime Minister relayed his lessons from political office, as well as his views on the future of the global economy and international power shifts. Mr. Blair equated our current struggle with Islamic terrorism to the struggle against revolutionary communism. He believes the struggle will be a generational struggle against an unconventional enemy in a variety of fields, locations. Summarizing his thoughts, Mr. Blair said, "Our task in this struggle is to be strong and of good courage." This was the Prime Minister's first visit to ORU, Tulsa, and the state of Oklahoma. Long before Puss ever met that big green ogre, he was a hero, a lover, a fighter, a big fan of leche, brought to life by the liquid voice of Antonio Banderas. Puss in Boots is one of the cleverest things to come out of DreamWorks in a long time. The plot is simple. Two orphans, Puss and Humpty Dumpty, find each other and become brothers. One is placed in a position of honor, revered by the townspeople. The other turns into, well, just a bad egg. The 3D features on this film are incredible, and the sight gags alone are worth the price of a ticket. Full references to modern culture, nursery rhymes, fairy tales, and of course, cats. This film is thoroughly enjoyable for those who appreciate wit, movie references, and a slight double entendre. It's one of those rare films that little kids love, teenagers find funny, and adults can enjoy without needing to cover the eyes of the younger members of the family. Rated PG for some adventure, action, and mild rude humor, this movie is playing at the AMC 20 at 41st and Yale. Using quick wit and rhetorical devices to the best of their abilities, the ORU debate team made a strong showing at their first tournament with the full squad. The debate team was created this September and currently has a roster of 6 ORU students: Joseph Jackson, Sarah Sanford, Josh Wagner, Charlie Meadows, Matthew McAfee, and Aaron Tift. The team brought home 8 awards from the Central States Debate Tournament in Kansas City, Missouri. The honors included 4 of the 6 speaker awards granted, 1 quarterfinal berth, and a controversial second-place finish against an opponent competing below their designated skill division. The team is excited about their excellent start, but is already preparing for a November 15th debate against NSU and a second regional debate tournament in December. The team will continue competing next semester and is looking for new team members. For more information, contact Agena Pharma in the communications department. Sean Copeland and Roberta Potts will be speaking to the seniors about life after ORU on November 7, 2011 at 10:50 a.m. in the Holy Spirit Room in Christ Chapel. They will share how to get a jump start on your career after graduation. Director of Student Experiences, Stephen Gunn, says that life after ORU is about taking the classroom knowledge and learning how to succeed after graduating. Stay tuned for William Burke with your ORU sports update after these messages.